And welcome back. Now, have you ever seen a clever invention and wondered why didn't anyone else think of that before, or indeed why didn't I think of that? Well, here's a very good example. It's designed and built by a 60-year-old grandfather who comes from Farnborough.
Yes, his invention is a new kind of children's pushchair, and it's such a simple, clever idea that it looks set to become a big hit with parents both here and abroad. Malcolm Stewart has been to see it.
Sue Fairclough had a problem. At 4½, her son Mark decided he was too big to ride in a pushchair behind his baby sister Sarah. And that's where Grandad came in. Bert Fairclough used to design heavy vehicles for a living. Dust carts, sludge gulpers, even fire engines. And after numerous prototypes made in his back garden workshop, he has produced the Bertie. It's a pushchair with standing room for an independent youngster held in by a safety strap. And basically, says Bert, it wasn't much different to designing a fire engine.
Well, the principle of load carrying is common for everything. It's more or less the law of physics. You get the greatest stability by having the total weight of either shopping or children or whatever you're carrying on it in front of the rear axle, behind the front axle, so that the more load that you put on it, the greater the stability, because you're pushing down in the middle of the pushchair. So the load is acting directly in front of the rear axle and behind the front axle.
This was the final trial version. It worked, but the big pram manufacturers were not interested.
I think they thought, oh, is this old boy come along, you know, to beat the world, and not likely to know anything more than we know, and in a nutshell, they just weren't interested.
But they were wrong. Bert patented his idea, and now it's been taken up by Wacky Rider from Uxbridge, and the company are sure the rest will be history.
I think it's absolutely phenomenal. We've just finished showing this at the Earls Court International Child Fair, and we've had people on from Czechoslovakia, Germany, Italy and Spain. It's already placed a firm order for Southern Ireland, so we're over the moon with it.
Other mothers still have their problems, but Sue has a transport of delight.
Mark used to be just hanging on the side of the pushchair. I was frightened he was going to step in the road or anything, and he's right there, and I can go quicker if I need to as well, which is a great help, because if I'm late somewhere then I can just run.
Have you got a clever granddad?
Yeah.
It's estimated that British sales alone could be 300,000 a year, selling at £140 each. And that will be with a huge shopping bag for when the toddlers are away to school. Sue's problem looks like being her father's fortune. Malcolm Stewart in Farnborough for Meridian Tonight.
You know, it's a fantastic idea, isn't it? The
Brilliant
simplest
idea.
ideas are always the best. One little postscript to that story, though, which is a little bit sad in a sense. That was designed, as we know, there by Bert Fairclough. It appears that the buggies are going to be made in Taiwan,
It's
would you
really
believe?
sad, isn't it? All the best inventions come from here, and they all get made somewhere
We've
else.
got the ingenuity, we don't make them in the end. Anyway, it's a great idea. We hope he does very well with it.